Welcome to the Hibbing Economic Development Authority regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We do have everybody in attendance tonight. Adds, deletes. Number 3, approval of the agenda. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Second.
supported by Member Egan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Approval of the minutes. Approve the minutes of the Hibbing Economic Development Authority meeting of September 8th, 2025. Can we get a motion for this?
Motion approved.
Motion made by Councilor Schreiberger
Support.
and supported by Mayor Hyduk. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. On to the consent agenda. Number 1, affirm the Economic Development Loan Fund account balance as of September 30th, 2025 in the amount of $1,462,899.56. Number 2, approve the disbursements for the month of September in the amount of $30,242.84. And number 3, set the next regular Hibbing Economic Development Authority meeting for Monday, November 10th, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the Hibbing City Council chambers. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read and published.
Motion made by Councilor Hoffman-Sockman.
Support.
Supported by Vice President Drainus. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. On to the presentations.
Madam President, members of the board, the first presentation tonight is from Yoder Building Supply Project, and Jerry and Trenda Yoder are here in the council chambers and ready to present their project. If you'll approach the podium. Good evening, Jerry. Welcome. Just give an overview of your project and what you're doing, and then the board members will have time to ask questions.
Okay, we are in the process of purchasing that DMR building from you guys. I call it the DMR building. So I'm not sure what all you guys want to know where the money's going, I guess. I'll present a little bit where the money's going. So $700,000 is what we agreed to purchase the building at from you guys. We got remodeling at $200,000, putting a new security system in there at $43,000. We are doing new roofing, which is close to $200,000 or a little more, which needs badly. New heating updates, about $180,000. Updating the electrical lighting from fluorescent lighting to LED lighting, about $105,000. And then the unknown, one of the biggest unknowns is the fire suppression system in there. It needs to be all updated. However, I can't get a estimate of what it's going to cost because they have to come in here and look at everything, and they won't look at anything until the security system is hooked up, so it's all connected to the panels, and then they can test it and they can tell me what it needs. So that's kind of it's kind of a shot in the dark, and I got $200,000 budget for that. I don't know if I'm low, I don't know if I'm high. They won't even tell me, so I'm kind of scared of that one. I wanted to pave the whole back end of the building. That pavement is starting to get kind of broke up, and once we start bringing semis in there and forklifts and stuff, it'll get worse. So that's about $200,000. Let me see. That would be, I wanted to put racking in the building. So as we were working on this building, and I've been in and out of there quite a bit because Jason was kind enough to let me in almost whenever I wanted to snoop around and keep looking. As we kept looking at the building, we found more and more things that kind of needed to be improved, so the dollar amount just kept going up. So I've been working with Jen at the bank for financing and stuff, and SBDC. And so they wanted me to come here and see if I could get $250,000 to help with the project, to get this project moving. So that's about what I have to give to you. I can answer questions the best I can.
Madam President, a couple of things. Yoder Building Services is consolidating their multiple different storefronts into one location to improve some efficiencies of operations. They're expecting to grow a little bit with that consolidation and looking to be there for years to come. So right now, you did approve an extension of the purchase agreement through the end of October. Jerry, do you have any update on if that date is good, or if we need to consider?
Well, with the government shutdown, I'm not sure how that's gonna work,
Right.
because there's some federal dollars involved.
Right,
So if they ever get their act together, and then they have to go through their approval, so I'm not sure if that's, I don't know. I haven't talked to Jen for sure on that. But we are in a desperate need of new location since our building burnt. We have already been, before the building burnt, we were already crowded and running on the street and up and down the street with bunks of lumber and stuff. It's not ideal at all where we're at. Plus, since my building burnt, I'm leasing 3 buildings from Rich Lease. So we want to move everything down there, so the interior store and everything would be down there. So we'd be updating our showrooms and stuff like that too, which is also some money involved in here.
and then, Madam President, members of the board, the rest of the conversation tonight on this for decision items later will be a call for a public hearing on this for the amount, because it's considered a business subsidy. So at that time, if we know soon enough from Jen, if we need to extend that deadline, we're calling for that special meeting at that last week in October. We could maybe make an adjustment on that date if needed at that special meeting, but we'll need to know that probably today or tomorrow, correct, Andy?
Yes, we'll also have to continue the public hearing. If in fact we have more time or need more time, we could continue the public hearing to a later date.
Okay, excellent. So just some things to keep in mind as you're asking questions.
Jerry, question for you. How many employees do you employ at this time? And do you see any increase, or what change did you see going under one roof? I think Betsy just mentioned efficiency, of course. It's got to be your number one, everything in one location. But is it going to make your employment the same, larger?
We
Just
will
curious.
probably be adding some employment.
Okay.
I think our sales will grow. One of the problems we have right now is people come in the store to do a project. They have to go to the other store to look at
Yeah.
some of the interior stuff, and by the time they get done discussing one thing, they're like tired and say they'll come back the next day. Where it'd be nice to capture that at the moment. I think that's gonna help us, because I'll have them sales rate connected there, and
Right.
they can browse through there and get interested right away. So I think we're losing a little bit there. So that's gonna help our sales. And I think just being more efficient, with things protected and being all in one location. Actually, I think that's actually a better location. Everybody says, well, you're kind of going back further into town, but actually it's much more accessible off the highway
Yep.
if they just stop and think about it, because the semis and the trailers and that kind of stuff can get off on that last exit and come right in through the
Yeah,
industrial
well.
roads. Instead of the semis coming right down through town,
Okay.
wiping out stoplights sometimes. I know they have done that.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Anybody else have anything, any comments for Jerry? Questions?
I'd just like to say, for the public, just so they know where the DMR old building is, it's up in Northwest, correct? Just so people know that that's where you'll be
What is the
located.
address? It's 11th?
1111 7th Avenue East.
Yeah.
Burned in my brain, Jerry.
1111.
So it's about, I think that building is about 33,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's nice size.
Good location.
Anything
Okay,
else?
I think that's probably it. Thank you, Jerry,
Okay, thanks.
for coming forward.
Second presentation tonight is Northland SBDC. We have Vicki Hegberg here and Catherine Lottie, and they have their presentation loaded, so we'll be off and running.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Vicki Hagberg. I'm the Regional Director of Northland SBDC, and I'll have Catherine introduce herself as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Lottie, a small business consultant with the Northland SBDC.
Great, and we have a presentation that we'll run through with you today that captures what the last year has looked like with our partnership between Heda and Northland SBDC, talking a little bit about the trends we're seeing with small businesses, the sentiment that we're hearing from the clients that we're working with, and what we have looking forward to for the next year. All right. I wanted to give a brief overview of Northland SBDC program for anyone that might be unfamiliar. I know most of the board members have heard from us before. SBDC is a national program of the SBA that is administered at a local level. So we serve the 7 counties of Northeast Minnesota and all parts of 5 Native nations. And really the core of our work is to help entrepreneurs with business plans, cash flow projections, navigating the business financing process. Buying or selling a business is a big thing that we see in Hibbing and across the Iron Range. But we also have specialty assistance and training in areas of marketing, human resources, e-commerce, QuickBooks, as well as something new that we're developing, we'll talk about a little bit later, is around artificial intelligence as well. So we provide all of these services at no cost, thanks to grant funding that we receive at the federal, state, and local levels. So you can see kind of everywhere in Minnesota, everywhere across the nation has an SBDC. I mentioned we have a federal grant that is about 1/3 of our budget that we have to match with local and state funding. That comes from state of Minnesota competitive grants, local communities like Hibbing, Virginia, Ely, and Chisholm, thank you. Partnerships with IRRR as well, and then foundations. We receive funding from Target Foundation, Wells Fargo, Huntington, a variety of different foundations that help fund our work. We perform really in top in the nation. When you look at per capita, how Northland SBDC performs in dollars of capital raised, number of clients we help, number of new businesses that we help start, we outperform every single state network in the nation. It's pretty exciting. That's my new humble brag for the year.
Good work.
And we focus on 3 different areas. So technical knowledge, but also community knowledge. It's great if we have a bunch of experts that can work spreadsheets and help people with business plans, but if we don't have those local connections and really understand what a community needs and its background, it's really challenging to help a business move forward. So we have a team of 15 consultants throughout northeastern Minnesota. Catherine is our lead consultant in the Hibbing area, supported by some others in our region as well. We do targeted training. So we don't host a ton of training events. There are lots of organizations offering low-cost or no-cost training. So we often boost and kind of amplify what they're doing, and then we fill in key areas that are not being met by other organizations. And then that last piece of that is that specialized technical assistance. So help with human resources, marketing, artificial intelligence, QuickBooks. Businesses can get one-on-one training on how to approach those different topics from experts in those fields. So what does that look like in Hibbing? I wanted to touch on a few of the projects that we've been doing behind the scenes and anticipate doing in the upcoming year. We have 5 we're going to highlight. A new one coming up is what we're calling Hibbing Business Edge. This is going to be intensive one-on-one training on either marketing or artificial intelligence for existing businesses in Hibbing. This is a partnership between Hibbing Economic Development Authority, Hibbing Area Chamber of Commerce, and Northland SBDC to bring in experts and really dive in with our businesses. This is a result of surveying that was done last year through the Main Street E3 program, and now we're bringing that to fruition. I can say it can't be coming at a better time. From my perspective, we're doing a lot of work with businesses to kind of weather some bumpy economic roads right now and to sustain and hopefully grow, but adapt. Second program is Accelerate Entrepreneurs. This is a program we piloted with IRRR a few years ago. We still offer this. It provides small grants for manufacturers that are investing in growth opportunities. So we have a couple of businesses in Hibbing that we're working on this grant. It is one of those situations where it's hard right now with manufacturers. Most of them are seeing reduced sales, kind of a slowdown. But they also acknowledge now's the time to invest so that they're ready to ramp up and can really be efficient and competitive with better economic times ahead. We're also contributing to the Hibbing High School Entrepreneur Club program, again, in partnership with Heda, local businesses in the Hibbing Area Chamber, helping to provide input, teach classes, and coordinate volunteers to come in and speak to the teenagers at our high school that are interested in small business. The fourth one, I'm going to have Catherine speak on just really briefly about our role in convening resources for childcare projects.
Thanks, Vicki. So in the last year or so, I've gotten a bit more involved in working with our childcare clients. We know childcare is a little bit in crisis, and so we want to do whatever we can to help folks out. I've been facilitating our resource meetings for a local childcare project that is in the process of relocating. And so what that looks like is pulling together, resources from within our Northland SBDC, Northland Foundation, Childcare Wayfinders, outside resources to help, plan finances, those sorts of things, to just help support those clients as fully as we can.
Thanks, Catherine. I needed a break so you guys didn't have to listen to me drone the whole entire time. And the last piece is around the paid leave legislation that's coming up. We're awaiting a hopeful award from the state of Minnesota to provide outreach and education and training on for small businesses that need to comply with the new paid leave laws that are coming out. So we're hopeful we're going to hear about an award any day. We're about 2 months overdue. So we're eager to get started on that front as well. So those are some of the focus areas. Regional impacts this past year were pretty phenomenal, with over $60 million in capital raised. A large portion of that was a really big project we had in the Duluth area. I would say overall, across the region, especially on the Iron Range, we actually saw a slowdown. And as evidenced, going from about 80 new business starts to about 60 new business starts. So we're seeing a shift in the work that we're doing, towards smaller projects, towards business retention and operational excellence, and I would say away from some of those really big projects that we've seen in the last 5 years. That being said, we have deals over $6 million that we're assisting to fruition that are awaiting a government shutdown to end so that those loans can move forward. But record year for clients served, almost 1,000 clients across the region. One thing I do really like to hit on to remind folks is we only get to count these statistics when a business sits down after we work with them and fills out and signs a form that says, yes, the SBDC helped us accomplish these goals. We don't get to make it up. We're held to the highest level of accountability for our data quality. So Hibbing in this past year, much lower capital than we've seen before, just shy of $1 million. 2 new business starts, about 44 clients served, and almost 300 hours of consulting deployed. Looking from July 1st to September 30th, we're on pace to serve 50 plus businesses in Hibbing in this fiscal year and provide over 330 hours of TA. That's not including the Hibbing Business Edge program that we're partnering on as well. So really we're looking at probably over 500 hours of TA in this coming year. Doubling down for the community. So in the past 3 years, this is what that impact has looked like over time. We were seeing much bigger projects in fiscal year 23 and 24. But, pretty consistent number of clients in that 40 to 50 range typically. And we saw a little bit of an uptick in client hours this past year of time that we're spending helping people review their business plans, develop cash flow projections. Overall, our cost of services this past year was about $50,000. And we have a request from Heda to consider later tonight to help support our program in the upcoming year at $7,500, which has been the level that Heda's supported our program in the past few years. As always, Catherine and I are available to help out small businesses in our area. And if you know someone who is needing this kind of assistance, we always recommend that they go to northlandsbdc.org. Everyone has to sign up for services on our website before we can help them out. That includes a confidentiality agreement that says we're not going to share their information without their written permission, as well as agreeing to what the SBDC does, what the SBDC doesn't do. And then I'm happy to open it up for questions.
Madam Chair, I just want to comment on, thank you for the support over the time I've been on HEDA and listened to your presentation, and the amount of impact you've had on our community and the region has been fantastic. And the one thing that people can never say, we can always direct them to you, there is help out there, but you can't be shy. You have to ask.
Yeah.
And, I think Betsy does a fantastic job, our economic developer, in directing them to you when that is the right fit. But I just want to thank you for your time and your dedication and passion for this region of the state.
Thank you, Mayor Hyduk. I concur. We have, I would say, a pretty streamlined process with Betsy to get clients signed up with us, getting them assistance, good communication through the whole process so that there's really as seamless as it can be for our clients we work with.
And it has been the same amount for the last few years, you said the 7,500?
Yeah, 7,500, I think, for the last three or 4 years, maybe even. We're not requesting an increase this year. I'm pretty hopeful about some of these other funding sources. I know Mayor Hyduk asked the previous year if I anticipated that it would need to increase. We're always going to use other funding first to support the community and our whole region. And really, one of the key things that this $7,500 does is shows local buy-in that makes it easier for me to fundraise by grant writing to other sources. I can say, look, these communities believe in us, we partner, they invest in us, and that helps me get these big $200,000, $300,000 grants that really do the bulk of the work in funding our program. Additionally, this year you invested in the Hibbing Business Edge program to help cover some of the costs of that. And so, acknowledging that there's some extra help going to Hibbing businesses this year, and really thanks to HEDA's financial assistance as well.
Madam Chair, I'd just like to say, I had an opportunity to work with Ms. Hedberg on a few things and what a professional she is and how well they run their program. I'm really glad to see you're going to do something with that Minnesota paid leave because a lot of small businesses, restaurants, bars are really having trouble with that. Hopefully they can get the right answers from you. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Member Egan. I really appreciate it, as well as our partnership in the past. And, if you know someone who's dealing with that now, we do have an HR expert on staff that can help out. We are waiting for that state funding before we start widely advertising that we're the partner to help in our region. But, if you know of a business that needs that help now, we're here to help.
Madam President, members of the board, that grant that Vicki is referring to, you wrote a letter of support to assist with that application as well. So it's easy for her to request those things. She knows what our meeting schedule is, and we can put those on the agenda without a lot of kerfluffle because you're already aware of the services and things. So that makes that support, activation easier and smoother, so.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming.
I got one question. It's pretty basic, but is there any way, or I know a lot of it's confidential information, but like businesses that you work with, is there a way for anybody to find out who they are so we can see like the success stories behind it?
Yeah, so I can't give you a list, but I can give you a couple of things as well as a promise for the future, Councilperson Schweikert. One is, I looked at our top 5 industries that we've been working with in Hibbing. They're construction contractors, lodging and hospitality, so like Airbnbs and as well as I think restaurants are going to be lumped into that category as well. Childcare and service industries like salons and other personal care. So it's pretty spread out. We didn't have more than 2 or 3 businesses in any industry category. It's a breadth across. I think you're aware that there's folks in the room tonight that we've helped out. But my promise for the future is one of the things we committed to do as part of our Hibbing Business Edge program is to create a success story about a Hibbing business, just to help promote that work and that partnership that we're doing, make it a little bit more transparent about what this can look like, to partner and work with the SBDC. And I anticipate because we're using AI to make the process a lot smoother, we'll be doing more success stories in the future as well.
Yeah, I think that would be very beneficial just for everybody
Yes,
to
absolutely.
actually
Yeah.
see what's happening.
Yeah, it used to take us 6 to 8 hours to produce a success story. We've built some processes internally that's gotten that down into that 2 to 3 hour range, so we can really do a lot more and are looking to improve on that in the coming year.
Sounds good.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you all.
coming forward, letting people know that there's definitely help.
Yeah, wonderful.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else?
Not with that one?
Nope.
All right.
Okay, so
Madam President, yep, on to Hibbing Currents Nursery School updates. Sarah is here along with Pia from, one is the director, one the assistant, or are you co-directors at this stage? I'm not sure. Okay.
We have another person with us who just would really like to see how this all works.
Okay,
This is the best time for her to see everything.
absolutely. So welcome tonight,
This is
and
Addie Kristonich.
the board has gotten your update, but why don't you just run through some of your, highlights?
Well, the highlight is it looks like we will be wrapping up all of the things that we need to do, and moving into the new facility on November 3rd will be our first day
Nice.
that we are open. The week before that, we'll be moving, the state will come. Who else needs to come? The fire marshal needs to come. All those, the building inspector, Pat Green, needs to come, and just dot all the i's and cross all the t's, and we're really hoping that it's really gonna happen. We've had some huge water issues at the Jefferson building and a lot of flooding, and we are now toileting 3- and 4-year-olds in a porta potty until we can get to our new place. So, we're on the downside. Hopefully, everything goes as planned. So,
Madam President, members of the board, I got an update from their meeting today that the fence installation and landscaping are complete at the new location.
correct,
The fire detection system installation is complete.
yes.
The interior and exterior doors are installed, only minor work remains, just some painting, is that correct? Fire marshal advised that the carpet does not need to be removed, shed pricing is being obtained, and the plumbing issue is the biggest challenge at this current location, which is why the new location is essential.
It is absolutely essential that we get out. It's been a long road, really hard road, but, we're getting there. And so we need approval of,
The 3 bills as of right now from the finished construction, the fencing, and no, not the construction, the WITSET, the code review we had gotten done, the landscaping and the fencing. That's the 3 we got invoices for so far.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a little bit further in the agenda to approve the new budget update. Yep, and Pia had provided sources and uses, which is fabulous for you all.
The one question I had, will you be able to have more students in your new location?
We will be able to have a few more younger students,
Okay.
toddlers. We were only licensed for 5 toddlers in our current location, and we'll be up to 9.
Okay, so almost double.
And as far as preschool age and school age, I don't think we'll be adding any more slots at this time. In the future, that's a possibility, because I think the Abundant Life Church is planning an addition, and including us in that addition. So, you know, as time marches on, we may be able to add some more slots,
Okay.
but,
Thank you,
Yeah.
and thank you for what you do.
yeah.
And I think Counselor Schreiberger brought up last time, we were talking about the retention of some of the kids that you have now, as far as, are the parents they are still gonna be utilizing you?
Absolutely, yes. Oh my gosh, the families that we have more than utilize us. I mean, this move is happening because of them, you know.
Sure.
We have sign-up list, and the trucks and the trailers are coming and helping and setting up, and, you know, we just have an amazing board that's why we are a parent cooperative, because when you bring your kids there, you sign up to be part of the family. And so, it's just an amazing group of people, and we are retaining, we haven't lost anyone because of all this chaos. And November 3rd, we have a few more starting, a few more families starting that we're just kind of waiting until we were settled and in our new place. So, yeah, I think the growth potential is big, and the need is tremendous.
Yes, it is.
It's tremendous, it's so big. You know, if we could grow and take infants and more, we would, but at this point, it's just not in the cards. And you kind of lose that personal thing. You know, we have kids for a lot of hours in a day, and we want to make it more of a family thing. I don't want, you know, 12, 15 people working there. I want the kids to see the same faces the whole day they're there. It's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Is there anybody else have any other questions for
So
Sarah?
what will you be doing with all your free time if you're not cleaning up water messes?
Well, playing with the kids. You know, I mean, really, that was half the problem with this very, like, unpredictable, clean water that was coming from our toilets. Now, we had the public utilities there. We had the city of Hibbing there. We had Iron Range Plumbing and Heating there. We had everybody looking at it. It is 100% unexplainable. From all those entities, all the professionals, we have no idea, but there was an impressive amount of water that came into the school, and by the luck of the draw, it was every time we were there. So we were able to get it sucked up and out of there, so thank goodness. And we have, there again, you know, we have a group text message with our board. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're flooding again. Addie's mom, Dana Kristanich, was there in 3 minutes with the shop vac and sucking up water, and it just doesn't happen for everybody, but we're blessed with great families, so we're lucky.
Yeah.
Nothing got ruined.
Well, that's good. Good to hear that. Okay.
And thank you very much to your young member, Ms.
Yes,
Rizzo, for attending
absolutely.
today. Thank you. Welcome to the Heda board. Hopefully you come back.
Yep, say thanks.
You are welcome. Well, thank you, Sarah.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Thanks for everything.
you bet.
All right, the final presentation tonight is the AMGS expansion project. Mr. Gallagher and Jason are here to run through the final items. This should be their last presentation in front of the board, so should be fairly quick tonight. Gentlemen?
You mean he's not expanding? No, I'm just.
I don't know what you're
Oh.
gonna do. I'd like to thank the board for letting us have one last opportunity to update you on this great project. I am Patrick Gallagher. I'm in charge of construction operations for Kraus Anderson on the Iron Range. Jason Wabama, the building occupant today.
You said it right.
I did, right. And John Maxwell's here as well. We'll give you a quick update, and then if you have any questions, we will answer those as well. Okay.
I think, yeah, the mouse is right on the arrow there, so.
Oh. Okay, what do we want to do here? Okay. We got it down now, Betsy, we just gotta get back to the right slide. Or we just do page down or something. Let's try that. Try a new way to go here. No? No? Yeah, we'll just keep going. Okay. It's still not. Okay, we're missing some of the slides that are on here, so I don't know what happened. But we'll just give you a quick update. The things that we'll cover are, first of all, safety, and then our schedule, our final warranty issues, which is the slide that's up right now, project budget status, and then the contingency status, and then the give back on the project itself for the savings that we've experienced. First of all, safety. 0 OSHA violations on the project, as well as 0 lost time accidents, which is pretty amazing on a project that size and something that we are very proud of with the whole team. Congratulations to that whole team, including working with you as a building occupant, Jason, as we were bringing him over while we were still finishing things up. So that's a pretty amazing thing. As far as the project schedule status, we are 100% complete. We have several things that we've completed recently. The electrical inspection is signed off and final. The final certificate of occupancy inspection with Pat Green will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And we do have the balancing report that he needs in order to do final occupancy. So don't see any issues with that. The final closeout documents and as-built drawings, we're still getting a few of those in, Betsy, and we'll get those to you before the end of the month, but I don't see an issue with that. So the work, the billings, the financial closeouts will all be done at the end of the month. We have drafted up the final bill, and we'll get that over to you as well. So now we're on the slides. The final warranty items, the automated oven, I just was over at the location there, and Jason was showing me the oven is up and running. It made temperature, so that was the last thing Pat Green wanted to see before he signed off. We have one light pole that isn't working, and Atlantic will come over and fix that. It must be just one issue with that one pole. And then the building site, the sign itself isn't really focused on the sign as well as it could, so we're gonna readjust those lights. We have 2 breakers that go in the bus bar that are in back order. Okay, now we're gonna see what happens next. Oh, look at that. All right. The budget status. So currently, the overall budget, $7,953,491. That was as of 13 October, and we are 100% complete. We've gotten all the final billings in. And on contingency, working with this great project team, we've been able to return a lot of the contingency, 29% of the owner's contingency, although I don't know other things that you have on your side, and 42% of the construction contingency. So that's a total of $445,076 of contingency that's returned. as a part of the project and the great management and cooperation of the team. And, okay. All right, and now we're out of slides again. So we'll go back to this. The financial status, probably the most important slide on the whole thing, is the current status of the financials. So out of that budget of $7,953,491, we are also, in addition to the contingency of $287,758 that we're returning, we also had a savings of another $195,860 in general conditions. So those are the costs that we use to manage the project. Just a great project team. I can't say enough about the cooperation, and when we are able to work together with people and the local tradespeople, we're able to actually run more efficiently, schedule more efficiently, and actually save those dollars and return them to you. So that will reduce, the contract now is $7,469,872.63. That is the final, and like I said, we've got all the costs pretty much in right now, and we've got things covered. Are there any questions at all?
The one thing that had to be added was the ventilation for your heating unit, and so that is all, and I'm sure you wouldn't be running it right now if that wasn't all complete.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
And
fire,
that's factored into this, all
Yep.
these numbers. Yep.
and the fire protection that supports
Yep.
that is all in as well.
Good.
Yep, that was the last thing Pat needed. Any other questions? Anything, John, you want to add?
I was just thinking maybe Jason wants to talk about that he shipped his first order,
Oh.
et cetera.
Yeah, so Friday we had our first shipment leave the new facility, so that was exciting. It's been a struggle for 3 weeks to get all these new machines that have never been built before up and running. We still have one that's lagging a little bit behind. Tomorrow I have to fix. But all of our core machines are up and running, and full-on production is starting to go. So what we're seeing, every machine's a little different, but we're seeing about a 7 times ratio of how much more product we can produce. With just,
7 times?
7 times.
Wow, that's
With the
crazy.
new automation and the equipment, so I know if some of you folks were at the ribbon cutting, it was like all this open space. Well, we finally moved everything out of the old building, right? So it did fill up quick, but yes, all the employees are over there. Everyone's happy with the new building, excited about lockers and cleaner bathrooms and all those good things, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes,
congratulations.
Thanks to
That's
you
great.
guys.
I went through there today and it looked like a different place. It's totally full. So thank you for the opportunity to work on this project and bring more jobs to the Iron Range.
Thank you. To Katie
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
great work they did.
You bet. Give us a call if you need another one. We're available. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent. Do you just want me to jump right in, Jennifer, or Sherry, to the next one?
Yeah, you might as well.
Because I know we're kind of on
You're
a
the
time
next.
frame with the.
Yep, for the committee reports.
Yep. So first item on my part is a request, Resolution 25-10-08, authorizing submission of a commercial redevelopment grant application to the Department of IRRR for 1,111 7th Avenue East. This is for the Yoder project in the amount of, all right, I swear I had it right in front of me. It was like 108. Yeah, 108,355.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve that resolution 25-10-08?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Support.
I'll second that.
supported by Councilor Hoffman Sockman. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. On to B.
Second item is a request to approve the agreement with Northland SBDC for fiscal year 2026 technical assistant in the amount of $7,500. I do have this built into my budget.
Do we have a motion for the 7,500?
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Vice President Drainus,
Support.
supported by Member Cameron. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. C.
This is a request to approve the updated project budget for the Hibbing Parents Nursery School relocation project as presented.
Do we have a motion?
So, what is the amount?
I think we're up to the
Okay.
50,000 total.
All right. Just want to clarify that, yep. Madam Chair, I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Support.
supported by Counselor Schweberger. Any further discussion?
She does that accurate number that we're at?
I have to look in the packet, I guess, because Betsy, I think, just redid the, was there one that went over 50, though? That put it over just slightly? Were we covering the difference or not?
We were not covering the difference past the relocation amount because they have a Northland Foundation grant that will fill in behind.
Okay, so if we're not covering the difference, then it would be a total of 50.
Do you know how much over it went?
Like 3,000 to 4,000, but there's a couple other expenses that the Northland Foundation will also support through their grant.
So there won't be any other expenses?
No, not coming our way besides the moving expenses, which are in there at about 8,800 or 8,900 as well.
And there won't be any more expenses their way towards, Hibbing Parents?
No, that's why they have that deed grant through the Northland
I
Foundation. Yeah, sorry.
understand. I'm just
Yep.
saying, but that
Yep.
will cover what
Yep,
needs to be
that's,
covered.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
Thank you.
My apologies.
No other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. D.
Item D is a request to approve Resolution 25-10-09 to authorize the purchase of 507 East Howard in the amount of $500 from St. Louis County to facilitate the demolition of this dilapidated structure as part of the downtown rehabilitation program.
And that is the ABLE chiropractor.
Correct. And there was a new resolution that was placed in your packet this evening because that one did not come along this weekend.
25-10-9?
Yes, so it is contingent on the St. Louis County receiving a grant from the IRRR for funding sufficient to see to the demolition and rehabilitation of the subject property.
So what I hear you say then is St. Louis County is requesting the demolition funds.
Correct. The funding will go from the IRRR to the St. Louis County into an escrow account. They will hold it. We will receive the invoices from the demolition contractor. We will submit them to St. Louis County, who will run through their process, submit them to the IRRR, and then funds will flow back to us.
All right?
And this is the same contractor as the 400?
400 block, correct.
Okay, do we have a motion for D?
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion made by Counselor Hoffman-Sockman,
Second.
supported by Member Egan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. E.
All right, item E is a request to approve awarding the base bid for demolition of the 400 block demolition project to Dorr and Associates in the amount of $648,700 and bid alternate number 1 for 507 East Howard Street in the amount of $132,700. Understanding that bid alternate number 1 is contingent on the funding from the county and the IRRR for demolition.
So that is the ABLE?
Yes.
And the, Betsy, the 648-7, that's all the buildings on the 400 block?
The entire 400 block, and we do have the $407,000 secured from deed
Yes.
for the portion, and then I applied for the remainder through the IRRR, and I can see from their process that they're in the process of awarding that.
Okay, very good. Madam Chair, I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Support.
supported by Counselor Schweberger. Any further discussion?
Do we know when this approximately is gonna begin, the demo?
So, thank you very much, Counselor Schreiberger, for that question. If we award the bids tonight, from there, we will go into the contract period. That bid alternate number 1 contract will have to wait until we secure the property. That will be going through the county's process on November 7th, along with hopefully the awarding of the grant to them as well on November 7th, which means we would hold the pre-con meeting right after that, and they would start mitigation forthwith. My hope is that because all of it went to the same contractor, we can award the 400 block and they can start on the mitigation immediately with tonight's approval, and that the remainder of that contractor will be handled by an amendment once the county has gone through their process.
Okay.
So we would start as soon as this process is done tonight. One caveat to that is removing the contents from Arrowhead Motorcycle. The bids for that, Andy, are coming back on October 17th.
That's my understanding, yep.
And then we would have to allow them a little bit of time to get the things out of there. So my hope is we give them maybe 2 to 3 weeks to remove them so that this all falls into place and, you know, they're starting right around that time. My thoughts are, even if those contents are not out of Arrowhead Motorcycle, we would start them in the 416 building on the hazmat mitigation because there's significant work to do. And they would just start on that end and move towards, and by the time we get to the motorcycle shop with all of the other appurtenances being removed, that they would be ready for that. So it will be a lot of scheduling and management of that, but I think we're up to the task and we will be doing this upon your approval.
So Betsy, will
So-
we be
but-
closing off the streets?
Let me finish
Yeah.
one item then. So the demolition itself, the contractor has 180 days, as you see in the bid schedule, to complete. So they will be telling us at the pre-con meeting exactly how their schedule will be going and when they plan to swing the wrecking ball, as it were. Yes, they have the ability to close off the parking lane and the sidewalk and potentially that one driving lane for a couple of days, but they will not be impinging upon traffic on Howard Street for the long term or for the duration of that 6 months. It'll only be a very brief period. They will be staging from the alley forward. So I hope to have an update at the November 10th meeting on the date that they plan to start the actual demolition and not just the hazmat mitigation.
So you can say by May it'll all be down for sure?
Yes. Yep, from the date that we start, they'll have 6 months.
From the date that we approve this, or the date that they?
The date that they have a contract signed, as I understand it, from the date we give them the go-ahead.
So one question, I'm not familiar with Dorr and Associates, where they're from.
So,
And how did our local contractors
Excellent.
do?
yes, so excellent.
You
Thank you
have
very
it right
much,
in your
Member
report.
Ian, for that. Yes, it's in your packet, but I'm just gonna read a little bit
Yeah.
information on it so that the rest of the public knows.
Right.
So
Take a
on
look.
October 6th, we received 10 bids. Of those 10, 3 were rejected because they did not provide all of the items requested. So we had 7 bids that were provided. You'll notice that the lower 2 were Dorr and Associates at a $648,700 for the base bid on the 400 block, and Landwear Construction was $725,568. Dorr and Associates, just to keep you level set on this, came in at the engineering estimates or slightly over. So that was a bid that was right around what we expected to receive. Third on the list was rejected because they did not include the list of subs. Hoosier Worldwide was the 4th lowest at $916,301. Vite was the 5th lowest, but was rejected because they did not include the non-collusion statement. And then you'll see that the remainder were George Bugalis and Sons, Urban Company, Bugalis Inc., Northern Contractor LLC, and Lloyd's, Lloyd's was the highest bid received. So those are all in the packet for you tonight, but I did want to cover the 5 lowest.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yep.
But I do think it's important for the public to hear all of that as well.
Absolutely, and thank you for explaining that.
Yep.
Excellent. And now, when the demolition, or before the demolition starts, do we notify like the neighboring businesses of when this is gonna happen? Or like the Android Apartments, are those people gonna be notified?
You know, I will get back to you on all of that. I know that there's processes to close off an alley or close off a street, all of those sorts of things through our engineering and our planning and zoning department. But I will get back to you on, you know, who they notify and all of those
Yeah,
sorts of things.
I think that's, yeah, because, I mean, you hate to have them come to work and the whole, you know, just wanna have a little communication there.
Right, and we have been cooperating with Trellis and their contractor, allowing them to use our sidewalk and the Fourth Avenue, I believe, side of, or is it Fifth Avenue? Side of our building. And then also, we've been working with the Hibbing Public Utilities in advance of this coming to you tonight, just to make sure that we're talking through all of the different items that they'll be responsible for, water and electric and things, so.
Who did the design, or I won't say design, but
The
the
specs?
information for demolition?
Yep, so our contractor, LHB,
Yep.
project manager Aaron Kelly has been working very closely with me and our engineering department on
Okay.
this, and Pat Green as well, all the way through getting
Very good.
everything situated.
Because you have basements, so this
Yep.
is a deep,
Yep, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Betsy, for that.
You're welcome. So we do have a first and a second.
Yes, no other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. On to F.
This is just the request to consider then that special HEDA meeting on October 28th or 29th. That's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Either 8 a.m. before some of your businesses open in the morning or at 5 p.m. Let me know which one of those works, and we've already cleared it with all staff, and the chambers are available, so let me know what works for you.
Okay, so we do not need a motion for that then?
We will need a motion to set the
To
meeting.
approve
Yep.
a meeting, okay. So we do need a motion to consider the special HEDA meeting on October 28th or 29th.
Is that a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yes.
Tuesday or Wednesday, yep.
and what time would that be, did you say?
Do you want to do it at 8
Yeah,
a.m. or at 5
in the
p.m.?
morning.
8 a.m.?
8 AM.
Okay, so 8 a.m. it is.
Sounds good.
Right, John?
8 AM is perfect.
8 a.m. We just don't know if it's the 28th or the 29th?
We decide now?
Yep.
28, 8 AM,
20
Tuesday.
28th, is everybody okay with Tuesday, the 28th at 8 a.m.?
I'm good with that.
And I
Okay.
will need a financial quorum, so we'll need to make sure we have 5.
I won't be here.
Okay, the rest of you?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
All good.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Madam Chair, to go to 8 o'clock on the 28th.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Support.
supported by Councilor Schreiberger. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we can go on to number 2, the Finance Director, Sheena Malner, with our HEDA loan updates.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. This evening, I handed out an updated schedule of loan balances for your review. Just a few updates this evening. Most everybody is still current on their loans. Rock and Rollers, we did receive a payment from RCB on September 10th of $300. Yoder did make a significant payment on their loan, so they're down to $86.83. I think it was a miscalculation on the amount, so that'll be trued up in the next month's draft, and then that one will be paid off in full. Arrowhead Motorcycle, I know we're still working on the inventory, and those bids, like Betsy stated tonight, are due, I think, October 17th, so then we'll see where those come in at for paying off part of that, hopefully all of it. Iron Range Management has drawn a couple of interest-only draws on his loan, so he's at $36,059.16, and then we did complete the other loan documents for that other $58,900. But we're making the draws on the first loan first until that's up to the total amount, and then we'll start drawing on the $58,900. And we did also file the business subsidy paperwork for that one with deed, so that is in the system. I did recently receive the loan documents for both of the Hibbing heating and air conditioning loans, so I'm working through getting those executed. Down on the deferred loans, down under Fund 422, Mike's Pub still has about a month's worth of arrears on the utility bill, so I still have not written off any of the deferred loan for that one. I did get the loan documents for Iron Range Makerspace, and then I'm just waiting on the one for Lee's. I will be getting those by the end of this week. As far as the fund balances go, we have cash in the revolving fund, Fund 250, of about $1,284,000. We have committed a few loans, so that leaves about $1,061,000 left to lend. In our Fund 420 fund, we have cash of $216,000 and nothing committed. And then the deferred loan program, the ones that we recently approved, that depletes the rest of that loan fund, so that balance to lend is we don't have any left in that loan fund to lend. Does anybody have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Sheena? Okay, thank you, Sheena. Okay, on to number 3, City Attorney Andy Borland.
Madam President, members of the board, under A, so as Betsy mentioned earlier, the bid opening for the contents of Arrowhead is scheduled for this upcoming Friday. So a notice was sent per the statute for someone, a tenant who's abandoned their premises, that in fact we had to make an obligation to send notice to the last known address of Arrowhead of that sale or that bid opening on Friday in case they wanted to submit a bid themselves. So we've complied with our obligations to them with respect to that. So that's my update, is that was sent by certified mail. With regard to 3B, in your packet, I believe there's a resolution calling for a public hearing. And this is with regard to the Yoder Business Supply. It's a business subsidy based on its amount and its size. And so I would recommend that the board make a motion to have a public hearing on the date you picked, August 28th at 8 a.m. If in fact something happens in the interim that they need to move, we can always, I think there's another issue that might have to come up on that meeting. So we can always continue that public hearing to a later time if in fact that's necessary. But I would encourage you to make a motion tonight to pass that resolution so that we can have that public hearing notice executed, because it needs to get published ASAP. Essentially, it'll have to get to the paper by 10:30 tomorrow morning in order to meet our timeline for publication.
For October 28th.
For October 28th, Mary, yes.
Yeah, I heard you.
Do we have a motion then for, like Andy said, Resolution 25-1010 for the public hearing?
I'll make a motion, Madam Chair.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Support.
supported by Member Cameron. Any further discussion?
Madam President, I have 5 items right now on that special meeting agenda, so we'll get those all to you based on the conversations we're having tonight.
Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Loan requests.
So, Madam President, this is a request that we've received from Security State Bank to subordinate our current Heda note for Tromco to additional Security State Bank loan. The request from Jennifer is in your packet, but Andy and I, we do not have the resolution written, but it will basically say that we're subordinating our Heda note to the additional. I believe they had requested initially like 130,000, and now they're increasing that by some amount.
By a fairly dramatic amount, I think almost double, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. And, yeah, I believe the resolution's been roughed out. Betsy may not have it in her hand. We do need a resolution agreeing to subordinate our mortgage. Otherwise, our mortgage would be ahead of this new consideration, and the bank's not going to give them the loan for that purpose. So that would be my recommendation, is to approve a resolution agreeing to subordinate our mortgage.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve Resolution 1011 to subordinate Heda note to additional SSB loan for Tromco?
So moved.
Motion made by Member Egan,
Support.
supported by Vice President Drainus. Any further discussion?
Madam President, members of the board, I wanted to let you know that Dan Murden from Tromco has been working. He called the mayor. We referred him to the Northland SBDC. He's been doing some work to do on his business. That's when this came to light. He worked with the bank. The bank is willing to do this. So we're not lending any additional funds at this time. We're just going a little further back on the premises that he is occupying.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Betsy. Okay, and we had a motion, we have a second. No other further discussion.
Madam Chair, if in case you didn't see the letter in the packet, the original mortgage position was $136,000, And this would be us subordinating to a new mortgage position of $283,000,
Yeah. Thank you.
just for the record.
Thank you for that, Sheena. No other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we're on to our discussion items.
Madam President, due to the need for the council members to attend a joint meeting here, and you're already about 7 minutes late, I will defer these discussion items to an email and just send you all an update on these items.
Okay, then we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Motion made by Mayor Hyduk,
Second?
supported by Member Egan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.